Namaskar, a warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Manoj Singh Rana bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. The headlines. Nepal is fundamental to India's neighbourhood first policy and the two countries need each other, says India's Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla. SCO Secretary General Vladimir Norov lauds the Self-Reliant India Initiative. EU-Britain trade deal stalled amid sharp differences. 100 million doses of the Sputnik V vaccine against COVID-19 to be produced in India in 1 year. And Australia beat India by 66 runs in the first ODI at Sydney. India's Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla has said that for India, Nepal is fundamental to its neighbourhood-first approach. He was delivering the Asian Institute of Diplomacy and International Affairs lecture in Kathmandu. He added that India's aspiration of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas and Nepal's goal of Samriddh Nepal, Sukhi Nepali are compatible. On the high-impact community development projects implemented in Nepal with India's support, he said, these projects are tailored to the needs of the local community, create community assets, and promote socio-economic welfare at the grassroots level. Mr. Shringla said enhancing cross-border connectivity and infrastructure projects are also critical. The spectrum of bilateral cooperation is all-encompassing. India has taken up the restoration works of 30 heritage locations in Nepal. Speaking on cooperation in fighting COVID-19, he assured the people of Nepal that their requirements would be a priority for India once the vaccines are rolled out. Secretary General of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO, Vladimir Norov, has praised Self-Reliant India Initiative by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying that it deserves high attention. Ahead of 19th Council of the Heads of Government of the SCO on November 30th, 2020, hosted by India, in a video conference format, he spoke to Prasar Bharati's special correspondent in Beijing, Anshuman Mishra, in an exclusive interview. He said that Self-Reliant India aims to strengthen industry, medium and small enterprises, which are the livelihood of millions of people in India.
The Self-Reliant India initiative, voiced by Mr. Modi, deserves high attention. It aims to strengthen industry, medium and small enterprises, which are the livelihood of millions of people in India. I am confident that the initiative will have a multiplier effect on the world economy as well as will contribute to the early recovery of the economies of the SCO member states in the post-pandemic period and to intensification of multifaceted trade and economic cooperation within the organization.
He said that with India's accession to the SCO, new opportunities for further development and deepening of full-scale cooperation have opened up.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has put forward a number of important proposals to further deepen cooperation in a number of areas, including development of alternative energy sources, environmental protection, development of innovative technologies and startups, capacity building in telemedicine, pharmaceuticals, medical tourism, financial services, tourism and etc.
India's National Security Advisor, Mr. Ajit Dobhal, called on Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, on Friday. Participating in the 4th NSA-level meeting on trilateral maritime security cooperation being hosted by Sri Lanka, he conveyed greetings from Prime Minister Narendra Modi and observed the progress in bilateral cooperation between the two nations. India and Germany have a great potential for collaboration in the area of digitalization, startups, innovation, and new and emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence. Making the opening remarks at the Indo-German Dialogue 2020, India's Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla referred to Chancellor Angela Merkel's visit to India last year. The two countries had decided to strengthen cooperation in artificial intelligence and digital transformation. He said there is a clear synergy in the technology and innovation industry for India and Germany to take advantage of. India also looks forward to Germany joining the International Solar Alliance soon. He noted with pleasure the growing convergence between India and Germany on the Indo-Pacific, as evidenced by the Indo-Pacific guidelines released by Germany earlier. Mr. Shringla added that India's large demographic dividend can be leveraged by Germany and the EU for their benefit through migration and mobility agreements. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. External Affairs Minister of India Dr. S. Jaishankar interacted with the members of the Indian community in the UAE on Thursday and assured them of the government's responsiveness on issues pertaining to post-COVID normalcy. During the virtual meeting, Dr. Jaishankar appreciated the Indian expatriate community's move to help the Indian embassy to meet the coronavirus challenge. He tweeted that the two leaders exchanged views on important regional and international issues during the meet. India and Vietnam inked an implementation agreement on hydrography on Friday. The signing was done in the presence of India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and his counterpart General Ingo Sun Lik during a virtual bilateral meeting. India has launched the India Climate Change Knowledge Portal on Thursday. Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Mr. Prakash Javadekar, on Friday said that the portal will have all the major steps government is taking at both national and international levels to address climate change issues. In a tweet, the minister said that India has practically achieved its pre-2020 climate action targets. He added that despite India not being responsible for historical emissions, India is leading the world on combating climate change. The trade negotiations between the European Union and Britain are stuck over significant differences on key issues. EU's chief negotiator Michel Barnier said on Friday that significant divergence persists on fisheries, state aid and future dispute resolution. The Danish government on Friday indicated that it wants to dig up minks that were culled to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Thousands of minks culled in Denmark to minimize the risk of them retransmitting the coronavirus to humans have risen from their shallow graves because gases have built up in the decaying bodies. Now the coronavirus updates from around the world. According to the WHO, the total number of infections around the world has crossed 60.26 million. Russia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, Russian Direct Investment Fund, RDIF, and Indian pharmaceutical company Hetero have agreed to produce over 100 million doses per year in India of the Sputnik V vaccine against COVID-19. International Telecommunication Union, ITU, accepts India's TSDSI-RIT technology as part of the global standards for 5G. Director of the ITU Radio Communication Bureau, Mario Maniavich, in a statement hailed the release of the global standard development as a significant milestone for the global telecommunication industry and its users. Moving on to sports, in cricket, Australia won the first ODI against India by 66 runs. Batting first, Australia set a massive total of 374 for India to chase, with Aaron Finch and Steve Smith both scoring centuries. India ended its chase with 308 runs, with Hardik Pandya scoring 90 runs. India is celebrating the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to his favorite bhajan, Vaishnav Jan, by artists from Myanmar. And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.